From the Yahoo Sports Radio studios high atop the Gal Building in Houston, Texas, this is Vision for Life Radio with Dr. Roger Patterson.
Hey, welcome to Vision for Life Radio today. We're so excited here where faith and sports collide, coming from the Yahoo Sports Radio headquarters here in the heart of Houston, Texas, at the top of the Gal Building overlooking the Galleria. We're visiting today with Mike Van Hoozer. Mike is the author of Moments, Making Your Life Count for What Matters Most. He is an endurance runner. He is sponsored by Tifosi Optics, Clever Training, Octane Fitness. He's got collaborations with Garmin and Powerbar. He is the father of 5 young men who are just studs. It's a joy to know them. And his wife, Gina, he's been married to her for 24 years. He's also a leadership consultant. He is a part of a Athenian consulting group. He is the director of their human performance practice, coaches elite level athletes, amateur and professional. And so, Mike, it's a joy to have you on Vision for Life Radio, where faith and sports collide.
It's great to be here, Roger. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
So time management's a big deal to you because you try to make the most of every day. Your subtitle of your book, Making Your Life Count for What Matters Most. On the cover of the book, Moments, folks, you can go to visionforlife.org and find this on our resources page. Order it directly that way. But on the cover of the book, there's a clock. And so it's a stopwatch, or it's an old handheld watch. What is it about time and time management? Because the idea of moments itself is time. We'll talk about that in a second. But what is it about time and time management that really drives you?
Well, I think the reason we chose the watch, and we chose the hourglass as well. And the hourglass is subtle. And I think that when people think about time, they think about, well, it's always going to be 11 o'clock. You know, it's always going to be 11 o'clock tomorrow and the next day and all of that. When we think about an hourglass, we don't like that because the sands are driven. At some point, it's going to run out.
Yes.
And we don't want that to be a morbid thought, but it gets us to think more intensely and purposefully about how we spend each day, what we're doing with those moments, and how we do that, whether it's in competition, whether it's in life, whether it's in business. We have choices about how we spend our time, how we invest that time, and that's really important. And I think it begins with defining priorities. What's important in your life? It goes back to calling. Some people shy away from that, but what do you put on this earth to do? And what are the strengths and talents and passions and opportunities that God has given you? And then how are you advancing the ball towards that week by week?
Folks, we're talking to Mike Van Hoozer here on Vision for Life Radio, where faith and sports collide. His book is entitled Moments, Making Your Life Count for What Matters Most. When we come back, we're going to talk about a moment taking place in our community, visiting with the CEO of mattress firm, Steve Sagner, and a great initiative they're doing. This is Vision for Life Radio, where faith and sports collide.
You're listening to Vision for Life Radio, where faith and sports collide, with Dr. Roger Patterson. The website is visionforlife.org.